Good afternoon from my car again. I really should change this to the car writer. It is the 24th of November and currently 10 to 1 and I have got myself a lovely Starbucks toffee nut latte. I'm so glad that so many companies like Starbucks and Greg's and all those have embraced the vegan, because those are the things that I would have really have missed when I went vegan. So yeah, just a little thought for the day. So I am currently in Manchester. Well, I've just driven from Manchester. I'm heading back to Blackpool way. I've just done a delivery of blood samples to Manchester Children's Hospital. So that's taken me like a couple of hours, and I probably got an hour back. It's not too bad. I don't mind it because I stick my audiobook on or some music as I'm driving. So I'm currently listening to Stephen King's Fairy Tale, which is really good. I think I'm about 4 or 5 hours into that, so I've had a good chunk of listening to that this morning. And it's good reading time. But the funny thing is, so I said in yesterday's video, I was going to do this challenge of no social media for 30 days to see if it improved my writing, and I'm going to do videos on that. But just sat in a service station, got my coffee, and then just had something to eat. And normally, because I'm by myself, I would sit there and scroll my phone. And obviously, I can't today. And it was very nice just to sit there, my thoughts, while I was having something to eat. And now I'm in the car. And I haven't been on my phone, so that's going very well. So as for writing, I only did write the 1,000 words yesterday. And I'm still very happy with that chapter. And it's opened up a whole new area in the story for me, which I absolutely love. And I'm sure it happens when you outline your stories as well, because I know people think that when you outline a story you're stuck to the outline, and that's not the case. I've outlined before in the past, not very often, but I have found that I've often strayed from the outline. It's why I gave up outlining, because I was only outlining because it was what everybody said to do, and I never did it with my first few novels. It was kind of like I wrote my first few novels and then I started getting into author communities. I mean, this is back before Facebook, so I joined Scribberville. I'm not sure what it's called. Scribberville, something like that. I also been a big Sims player and used to write stories for that, so there was forums that had where we could share our Sim stories and things like that. So back then, when I was writing, I never ever plotted or outlined or anything. I just had this adventure with my story. And then as I learned things, like I say in another video, I joined Kelly Armstrong's website, and she has an author section. I joined Holly Lyle's stuff. I mean, this is long time ago. And I started to buy books. Amazon came on and everyone was like saying outline, and so I tried it and I did outline a book. I bought, gosh, this was ages ago now, Your First Draft in 30 Days, and I used it to outline one of my books. It was like book 10 in one of my series. So, and it went really well, and I did enjoy going from the outline, and I enjoyed the whole outline process. But what I actually found as I was writing that book, that I was just going off into different places and having to keep changing my outline. And while the outline process was good and it didn't restrict me in any way, because I didn't let it restrict me, I find if I sit down to outline, I end up just wasting time and I get stuck. Whereas if I'm kind of more active and discovering the story, I don't get stuck. And if I do get stuck, there are occasions I'll write myself into a corner. I more journal my way out of it. So I really love the idea, and I obviously I didn't come up with it, but I came up with it for myself. I didn't read it from anywhere, but loads of people do it, of journaling from my character's point of view. And I found that super helpful, and I would ask them questions and get the answers. And I've talked about this before. Vince Gilligan, who is the creator of Breaking Bad, often said that the writers would sit in the room and they would ask 2 questions. What happens next, and what is Walter White's state of mind? And I absolutely love that ever since I heard that. So that is what I do if I'm stuck. So with Alex, and what is Alex's state of mind at the moment? He's still grieving for his wife. He's fighting this case that he didn't want, but he's taken it on. So he's still feeling like an outsider in the detective world, even though he's been a detective for years, but he's getting back into it. So his state of mind is like he's trying to find his feet basically again in his career and in his job and his passion. And he's also trying to find his feet as a single father, trying to balance looking after a daughter who has a disability because she's deaf. And then obviously what happens next is he's going to progress and follow clues through the story. But I like that idea, and I try to keep that in mind while I am discovery writing. So yeah, so like I say, it was a very, very good chapter. But because of this way Discovery wrote it, it's opened up a lot of character development for me and a lot of ideas that I'm going to try and explore with the story. This book that was aiming to be 60,000 is gonna, I always go over. I'm absolutely useless at sticking to the word count, but I don't mind. It's the thing I love about being an indie author is there are no rules. You do what you want, you write what you want, you put whatever cover you want on it, you edit it the way you want. Obviously the readers may bite, might not bite, but at the end of the day I write because I enjoy writing stories, and so I'm going to write this story the way I want, but I am sticking to the tropes for crime because, you know, I do want readers, but I love the whole idea that I can have a goal of 60,000 words but possibly take it to 100 if that's where the story takes me, and nobody's going to tell me off for it. I'm not banking on getting any words down today because it's currently, well, it's now basically 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and I have to go and pick up my grandson at 3:20 today because his mum is stuck at work till 5 in a meeting. So by the time I get back home, it's going to be 2. By the time I get in the house, do the random things you always do when you turn into the house, and then go back out and get him, it's going to be time for him there. And there's no way I can write with an 8-year-old running around the house. And I don't mind, it's grandma duty, but I have just had an email that I've had a delivery of, so I'm waiting on 2 deliveries of things so I can complete my order. One of them's arrived today, so I need to process those, put them into the orders and stuff like that. So I'm going to take advantage of the time while I've got the grandson to get those done, because I can do that while he's around, while he's yabbering at me, while he's playing. Knowing him, he's a little PlayStation addict anyway, so he'll be on the PlayStation, but not leaving him alone. I'm still spending time with him, and I'll be toing and froing. So I'm not anticipating any words today. I can't remember what day it is. Is it Thursday today? Yes, it's Thursday today. So I'm not sure if I'll come back and say anything because, like I say, there's no words. I think what I'll do is if I get words, I will come back and do an update about the words. And if I don't get any words, I will just end this here and I will see you tomorrow, because what's the point in me coming on and saying I looked after the grandson and I didn't get any work done? So yeah, so it is throwing it down now. I don't know if you can hear the rain around me. And my coffee. So I am going to get back on the road, put my audiobook on, enjoy that for an hour, and then go and do all the lots of things I need to do. 6 days left of NaNoWriMo. I'm cheering you on wherever you are in this journey, and I shall speak to you either later today or tomorrow. Bye for now.